All right, everyone, we've come to the final principle we're going to talk about during the course of this semester of management, which is the controlling function. So we've covered planning, organizing, staffing, and influencing, and now we're going to finish the semester off talking about this particular controlling function. Now this model, when we talk about controlling, is probably going to look familiar to those of you who have either worked in quality improvement or have taken the quality improvement class. And I want to make sure to note here, controlling automatically has that negative connotation attached to it. But understand here and throughout this particular module, we're not talking about controlling in terms of micromanagement and how tightly you control things, but we're talking more about monitoring performance and the actual real-time performance versus what was expected and those expectations we have set. So this controlling function is really used to make sure that we're staying focused on the mission, vision, and values of the organization, and that we're staying in line with that strategic plan that was set out for our organization to follow. So it's imperative here that controlling goes along at the same time as all the other functions in regards to performance. So we want to make sure that we have this controlling function, that we kind of see it throughout all of the processes that go on throughout management that we've talked about in regards to performance, because controlling is going to give us that opportunity to be able to go in and do some real-time problem solving and stop small problems when they're small before they get very large. So a major part of controlling is trying to stop problems before they even happen, because we don't want problems to happen. We want to do our best to prevent them before they even do occur, but we know that sometimes problems are going to occur. And that's when we conduct this retrospective or to even some extent concurrent controlling piece. And even though controlling from a retrospective angle is coming after the fact, after the problem happens, we're still able to go in and make corrections. Hopefully, if it's caught in time, we can make them while they're small. Obviously, we'd like to do more prospective controlling, stop those problems before they even occur. But we are going to find ourselves, when you find yourselves in these particular roles, doing some concurrent and even retrospective controlling, and think of retrospective as feedback. Now a closed loop feedback system, this is going to be almost synonymous with having a thermostat in your home. So your thermostat, you set it to a certain degree temperature, and it's currently going through and continuously comparing what you've set the thermostat to what the temperature is in your house, and when it starts to see that variation, it tries to go in and start to correct what's going on. So we want that, that closed loop feedback where we can kind of have this self-regulating mechanism that goes in and makes these corrections. It's continuously monitoring and can alert us to when things are off from how we expect them to be. So what you're going to be doing if you find yourself in this supervisory role, this managerial role, and I think I've said it plenty of times before, but I'll say it again, your job and what you're going to be doing, particularly within this control function, you're setting the standards and the expectations. Believe it or not, your team, your employees, those that report to you, they're going to be looking at you to set the example from what you say to what you do to how you act inside and outside of work. It's almost like you're continually under the microscope because your employees are going to be looking to you to be the leader and set the example and lead by example. What you act and how you conduct yourself and what you say is going to tell your employees what's okay to say or not to say or act or how not to act. So it's important if you do find yourself in this role, if you have a message that's really important, make it a consistent message through the things that you do and the things that you say to your employees. And what I like to say to kind of end on this slide, start out teaching the correct principles and allowing your staff or your employees to self-govern as much as possible, and then check in every now and then. You don't want to be kind of fly by the seat of your pants supervisor, or seagull supervisor as it's called. You don't want to fly in, cause a lot of commotion, and then fly out. But you want to, leave your people with a sense of trust that you're giving them to kind of self-manage themselves, and that you're going to be there to support them from a leadership perspective. Now we do have a couple more slides left in the deck. For purposes of the lecture, I'm going to end with this slide. There is a video within this module that I'd like for you to watch, and like I said, I'll finish scrolling through the slides. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And this is the video, if you can take a second and just watch it. It's kind of funny, but it gets the point across just about micromanaging. So make sure to go out and watch this.